Hello, welcome to another vlog. Unfortunately, this one is not starting out great. I don't know where this is going to end up, but I wanted to update you because I know a lot of you are really invested in Luke and he has some issues going on. He's sleeping peacefully behind me, but I have to take him to a vet specialist this morning because a little over a week ago, I was rubbing him kind of under and behind his ears, as you do, and I found a kind of large knot. It doesn't bother him. He doesn't flinch when it's touched at all. But I mean, it's concerning because it shouldn't be there. The vet fit him right in the next day, checked him out, tapped it, and said it's a sialocell, which from what I understand is a leaking or a burst salivary gland that starts leaking saliva, mucus, pus, blood into that area, and it will not fix itself. You can drain it, but then you risk infection because, I mean, it's a dog and they get into stuff. Before we have it fixed, we have to figure out what's causing it. He said that sometimes they're caused by dogs that roughhouse with each other. Something will burst and cause this to happen. He doesn't do that, but he does jump on furniture a lot and runs around. I mean, he's 13, but he is active. No one ever thinks he's 13. He's been a perfectly healthy dog his whole life. We've never really had to do anything for him health-wise other than make sure he sees the vet regularly, gets his shots, eats, drinks, and plays. I think it was about 6 months ago he got put on a special renal dog food, but he's been fine ever since. When he's not sleeping like he is now, he is active. So he could have pulled something that could have been the cause. There was something else that could cause it, and the third cause is a possible tumor. Because it's in such a tricky area, they don't deal with it there, which is why I have to take him to a veterinary specialist. They are going to examine him. He is going to examine him this morning and possibly do a CT. The only way to fix this is to cut it out. So little Luke here is not going to have a fun day today. I am going to go ahead and leave a little bit early just so I can drive with him for a little bit because he loves being in the car and I just can't take him immediately there where he's just going to be scared and not know what's going on. At this point, I'm trying not to put the cart before the horse. I'm waiting to hear from the specialist before I think too hard about it because I don't want to get in my head too much. Of course, I don't know what's going to transpire by the time this vlog goes up. We got our moving boxes yesterday for our upcoming move in about 3 weeks, which I oddly feel very unprepared for. There are a few hiccups. I'll talk about that later. A lot of stuff is happening at the house really fast. So I'll have some house updates and status updates in this vlog. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get in the car and get going. Saw me get out the leash. Saw. You ready? You ready? Let's go. Yes. I'm gonna go in the car? Yeah, let's go in the car. You know how I said I wasn't going to get too in my head? I wasn't going to put the cart before the horse, and I'm not. He was just shaking like a leaf the whole time we were there. I mean, all dogs do that at the vet, right? He was just so nervous. Everyone there could not have been nicer, by the way. They were just super accommodating and nice. Wait, they're calling me. I had to come inside. I had already shut the car off thinking I was just going to talk to you for a quick bit and then come inside, but when they called, they were asking some questions, and it is hot out there, so I had to come in. The vet specialist clinic just wanted a history, so it was a pretty easy phone call. All I can say is that I'm really glad that I pushed myself yesterday. As much as I didn't want to film in the late afternoon, I'm so glad I did because I just don't think that I could have done it today. And I just don't know what this appointment is going to bring. I've got other things going on, obviously with the build too. So I'm going to try and find some things to distract me today. I have some administrative work I need to take care of. I've got so many emails to respond to, some general work stuff I need to get done creatively, administratively, and I need to start pre-planning some content for the move so that I am not just too thrown off during that week or however long it's going to take us. So I'll just have to see what this day brings. It's been a few days. I need to give you an update. I sat down to do my makeup and respond to some voicemails, and I figured I would update you while I do the rest of my makeup. I just could not come back on that day for actually a few days. Things have just been kind of crazy. So I clearly have a visitor back here on my little table that's in my background. I'm gonna have to look at my mirror, so I may be covering him up a little bit. I tried tried to unblur my background as much as I could without everything being dark. One thing affects another, but I did what I could. Okay, he actually wants down. It's raining outside, so we may have some background noise and some light fluctuations, but this is as good of a time as any for me to update you. You know, I feel like I suck at vlogging because I am pretty guarded with my personal life. I have a teenage daughter and a son and a husband that don't like being on camera. So when it comes to personal situations, I just don't put as much out there as a lot of people when it comes to super personal things. When I get emotional, it's really hard for me just to put it all out there. And last week was a really emotional week. That day that I last talked to you was super emotional. In case you're wondering, the stick that I applied under my eye was the Tula Rose Glow in Get It, and the under eye corrector, of course, was the Bobbi Brown stick corrector in Bisque. So I was completely unproductive that day. I got an update from the specialist after he did his physical exam, and it really threw me off. He gave me some very realistic scenarios. He wanted to be very upfront with me based on what he saw, and they just weren't very good. By the way, the foundation I'm using is in the wrong color for me. It's too dark and too warm. I'm not sure if this vlog is going up before or after my foundation review that has the Lancome Teint Idole Care and Glow foundation. This is what I'm using. That's what I'm filming. I'll go into the shade details and the shade that I believe that I am in that video. It is not a match. I mean, I definitely make it work. It's not too far off my neck color, but I do need to bring some bronzer down on my neck. So based on his examination and where the lump is, he was thinking it was by a major facial nerve. And the risks associated with cutting it out where he thought it was were pretty major. I mean, it could cause Bell's palsy-like effects, meaning he could lose the ability to close his eye. We would basically have to put ointments and drops in his eye forever because he wouldn't be able to blink anymore. And just the way his quality of life is, he is so vibrant and so lively. That just really got to me, thinking how his life would drastically change or could drastically change. And then of course there's the whole difference in being able to eat properly and drink properly aspect. And it was a lot to take in. And then of course they needed to not only do the CT to find out where it was located, they also needed to do a biopsy to figure out the cause. Because it's one thing if this salivary gland leakage is caused by a rupture, kind of a one-time thing, or if it's a tumor. So after that initial phone call, I was a little upset to say the least, and it was basically just a waiting game the whole day. I was completely unproductive and basically useless. Our builders called me for some questions and I couldn't even talk to them. I had to defer them to someone else. I couldn't talk to anybody. They called me to update me when they were getting ready to do the CT and biopsy, and they called me when they were finished, told me everything was great, I could come get him. He did really great. He had a little purple bandage around his leg and they had shaved him, so it's still growing out. It almost looks like a little poodle leg right now. Okay, the concealer I used was Dior Forever Skin Correct in 2CR, and I'm going in with my Huda Beauty Honey Beige lip pencil. So for the next couple of days, we waited around for the radiology and the pathology results. And the whole time I was just thinking, you know, what kind of decisions am I going to have to make here? And I happened to talk to one of my friends who is a veterinarian who was talking about how it is difficult because he's not 5 years old, but at the same time, he is very healthy. He's never had a thing wrong with him. And she even told me that he could have another good 5 years. And of course, all of this is compiled with the move. Okay, I can't talk and put lip liner on. I got the new shade of Chanel cream bronzer. I think it's $3.92. Yeah, $3.92. It says Soleil Tan in medium bronze. I'm just using a little bit of it to give a little bit of dimension and a little bit of warmth where I feel like I need it. It's basically foolproof. You can't go overboard. So it's just a lot to carry, I guess, while we have this build nearing completion and then packing for the move and everything else. So the specialist called a couple of days later when he heard back from the radiologist and the pathologist, and what we thought could end up being very bad news ends up being the best case scenario, which is still surgery, but it's not cancer. And what he thought was that growth, that leakage right next to that main facial nerve was actually bilobed swelling, both superficially and deep. So it looked like it was in that location, but it's actually in a really good, very common spot that's much easier to cut out. And cutting it out is the only way to get rid of this situation. This Cialicel, I think that's what it's called. I'm using the new Laura Mercier All That Sparkles blush, which is a very pretty shade of pink with sheen. I don't know why they're calling this All That Sparkles because there's no sparkle in it. Just a really pretty radiance that works really well with glowy foundations, actually. So the surgery is scheduled the day before we move. It's the only day that it could happen unless we put it off for another 4 weeks. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to take the risk that it's going to grow and get even bigger than it is. And right now it's not bothering him at all, and I want to keep it that way. I don't know why it just took me 10 minutes to put lip gloss on. I am so thankful that it wasn't something more serious, that it is in an easier, common location that's much easier to deal with. I know he's an older dog, but he has several years left with us. He is still healthy and still vibrant. So I'm going to film this video and then come back and give you some updates on some furniture situations that have me kind of thrown for a loop, but I need to clear this space so that I can film this foundation roundup. I have some good foundations in here. If this is up already, I will have it linked down below. And I know I stopped sharing what I was putting on my face. I'll have that link down below in the description box too. It's a new day. I'm sitting here looking like a mess with a mess behind me, and the lighting is terrible in here. But I wanted to get back with you with a Luke surgery update as well as house updates. I have been a terrible vlogger lately because I've just been overwhelmed, honestly. Brooke is starting her senior year. We've had the situation with Luke, plus packing, finalizing the build details. I've had to go to the house 3 and 4 times a day, some days, and it's just a lot. And I'm realizing that when this vlog goes up, I believe we'll be actually moving right around that time. So today I'm filming 2 videos. Tomorrow I'm filming 2 videos. I wanted to get some things filmed and edited, thumbnails done, descriptions done, so that when we're moving, right before we move and right after, I can kind of relax. And I know a lot of you are gonna say, we'll be here, take your time off, don't worry about us. And I truly appreciate that. And in an ideal world, that would be fantastic. But I actually have a couple of brand things I needed to get turned in right after we moved, and I figured I would just do those before so I don't have to worry about it there. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get settled, which is actually what I'm going to talk about after I share the Luke situation. Now keep in mind, I've been a terrible vlogger. There's been a gap since I last vlogged. So the surgeon that has been on his case, that knows him really well, that I've been communicating with, he had said there wasn't a big emergency. We didn't need to rush him in that week or anything. His specialty clinic has offices here and in Baton Rouge. So they rotate, and his surgery days here in New Orleans happened to be the day before we moved and then again at the end of August. And the day before we move, I was thinking, okay, you know, that gives us a little bit of time to kind of absorb everything, but it's not so far out either. So it kind of fit, and he was comfortable with that date and I was too. We had it scheduled for then. Well, over the past couple of days, we've noticed the swelling has completely gone down, and here we are about a week out from our move, and I'm thinking, you know, if we don't have to do this the day before we move, I'd rather not. So I just called to reschedule the surgery for the end of August. Both my vet, who is my friend, and my surgeon were fine with it. So we moved it to the end of August, and Luke feels fine. He is his normal self. So I'm not sure what's going on with that swelling. I don't know. I'm going to take him to get another physical exam with my friend soon, just to kind of see what's going on with that. In the meantime, Brooke got her braces off. It's her senior year. So we scheduled her senior pictures for this week. Actually, it's 2 days before we move. So it's going to be a busy year for us, a phenomenal year for her. We're looking at colleges. I might get into that in other vlogs, but for now, let's talk about this move, this build. So I thought my mom was going to be able to come help me this weekend with the move, and she can't. Michael's out of town, and so it's really just going to be me packing this weekend, and then we just have a few more days, and then we're moving. But we are renting this place through the 15th, so I mean, if we leave some things in closets, we can come back and get it, and my mom is able to stay with us for a little bit after we move in, which helps. I mean, it helps having an extra hand with so much stuff you need to put away and put in its right spot. So I'm just going to show you my furniture spreadsheet, and when I showed this to a couple of my friends, they were like, oh my God, how is it that you're creative, but you're so analytical? I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this. I just cannot stand not knowing dates and when things are coming in, and this is the best way I know to do it. So you see all that red? That's all furniture that we ordered months and months and months ago that's delayed on back order. Most of it is supposed to be here late August, sometime in September. Our bed, though, is what kills me. We ordered it in probably February, and it's not going to be here until at least November. The two completed areas in green, Brooke's room and the outdoor furniture. So when people are posting these new houses that are fully complete, I don't understand how they're doing it, because no matter where you order furniture from, it is not getting here, and it's not necessarily even manufacturing. It's the shipping. Michael's sectional for his den shipped weeks ago, and it's not coming in until late August. I also just got notice last week that the dresser we ordered for the guest room that was supposed to be here in August is now back ordered until late October. That's when it ships. That means it'll probably get to us in January. That's what I was told. I mean, that is just crazy. It is the weirdest time to build and order things. So on that same note, we're not going to have a fully functioning powder room, guest bathroom downstairs until at least probably September. We started our build in October, and we ordered all of our plumbing fixtures in December. It was right in the beginning. We ordered a vanity for that bathroom. We also ordered a vanity for another room, another bathroom, and it came in. This vanity, though, it was supposed to come in at the end of July, which is pushing it since we're moving in right after that. Well, we got notice that it is now delayed until late August, and that's what's happening. Things say they're delayed once, then you get another notice that they're delayed again, and it happens again. You just don't know when you're going to get anything. But, you see all these people moving into their fully completed homes, and I'm like, how? I want to do that, but it's just not happening. We've just had little hiccups along the way. We also had to have the stair railing ripped out twice because it was wrong, which was not a fault of the builder. It was a whole other story. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm hoping that that will be corrected by the time we move in. It's just a crazy time to be building or renovating or ordering anything like furniture or plumbing, just anything to have to do with houses. Just because it says it's in stock doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get it right away, or it'll say it's in stock and then you get a notice that it's not really. It's just very interesting. We're actually on our third round of trying to get in-stock nightstands correct. I was so excited because I found some in-stock items that I loved, and they both arrived on time early. So, I mean, I have them here. They arrived, both of them, damaged. So they swapped them out very easily, no questions asked. The next two came and the finishes don't match at all, and one of them has a scuff. So they're now sending two more. I think they're arriving today, and I'm gonna be able to look at those two and see if maybe one of those matches the current one here that's not damaged, or I don't know. I'm gonna see if two out of the four that I have here work, and then they'll pick up the two that don't. I don't know. It's just crazy. I am excited to get that pool plastered and filled after we move in. It has to happen after we move in, which I didn't realize. I don't know if that's just where we live with new builds, but you have to have occupancy of the house before they can come do that, and then they want to give us a tutorial and all that. So, we wanted to move in and just jump in and swim, but it's going to be a few days before it gets balanced and everything. But I'm so excited because we've never had a pool of our own before. We've just visited houses and had relatives, but I'm loving the way the backyard is turning out.
I only got to film one video today. It took me forever. It was just one of those days where I was stumbling over my words. Nothing was quite flowing, I guess. So it's almost dusk, and I am going to head to the house, see what was done today, and there's a possibility that I may film 3 videos tomorrow. Probably just 2, but I'm so aggravated that I only got one done today. It happens. All right, I'm gonna head that way, and hopefully they got a lot done because we don't have many days left.
They've done a lot since I was here last, and they've done the pre-clean. So they're through leaving all of the trash in here. It's very echoey, and I did not bring my mic, so I'm sorry if the sound is way off and it's probably only on one side. I'm not going to do the full tour because that's going to be in the next vlog, but we are here in the kitchen. They still need to paint that wall. And I have the butler's pantry behind me. There's a sneak peek. My door finally got installed and painted. I'm standing here staring at my fireplace. I'm so in love with it. I went ahead and flipped the phone around so you could see it. I just love the design, the dimensions we came up with, and the finish. They still have to put our TVs in and everything. We will have window treatments when we move in, which is nice. You can see the backyard lit up. if you look through the windows, which is really pretty. We still have temporary handles on. I'll open up the door just so you can see it. They had to pull the grill off to do something. I don't know what's going on there. Look how pretty. It's gonna be so nice once the pool gets done. I know the kids wanted to jump in right away, right after we move in, but it can't happen that way. I'm hoping the wallpaper people can come do the wallpaper in the powder room, so at least it's done, even though we won't have vanity for probably 2 months. We're also putting wallpaper here in the butler's pantry on this wall, so it hasn't been completed yet. But if you look everywhere else, it's pretty monochromatic. Oh, I just noticed the glass is not in these stores yet either. And we have these kind of mother of pearl tiles and the taupey gray cabinetry, and my door finally got finished. It just needs to be cleaned up, but it's done and I love it. We're moving in a week from today, no matter what. So even if there's things that still need to be done, we will be in this house. I am tired, so I'm gonna head home. Master bedroom nightstands 5 and 6 just arrived, so I'm gonna go home, open those up, see if they're not damaged, and if 2 out of the 4 options I have at home will work. If not, I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, we're just trying to get 2 that have the same finish, the same grain, and that don't arrive broken. Surely this can happen. I don't know. I got interrupted again and started heading out and realized I didn't finish saying what I was gonna say. So we are moving in a week from today. Whether this is finished or not, I'm sure they're still gonna have things that need to be done. Just walking through, I mean, there's a lot of things, and some of them I'm fairly certain will not be completed by the time we move in. More than just punch list items because of the whole supply chain and shipping issues, which is fine. I'm so excited to be moving in. So the next vlog will either be a moving vlog with maybe us getting settled, maybe a house tour. I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of unknowns right now. Stay tuned for more regular videos as well as another house vlog coming soon. Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.